My hearty pranams to our most revered and respected elder brother, Ramnath Kovindji. Our respected brother, Bhupendraji Yadavji, and my very dear sisters and brothers, thank you. Some of you may not be knowing that India does not celebrate birthdays of people, except those of Avatar Purushas like Krishna, Buddha, Lord Ram, Hanumanji, Nanak Dev, things, personalities of those that caliber. Especially in my home, we did not even remember what your birthday was until we had to fill up the forms entering colleges. Till then, we didn't remember our birthdays. Because our culture, it resonates so well with the universe, which has no beginning, no end. So where is the question of celebrating your beginning? In fact, during my working days, people were longing, waiting that Daji would be there and they would be all ready with gifts and I would surprise them by not going to the business. I used to shy away from such pompous things. For me, I feel like running away when it comes to such celebrations. But I have a different outlook now. I'm able to see you all, I'm able to be with you all, and work, the spiritual work becomes easier when we are together. So for me, it's an excuse to be together so that the work can happen. And I appreciate and I'm very grateful to all of you. Thank you. Few things I like to share. Since our minister, whose portfolio is environment, climate change, labor, and employment. So I like to say that this place had hardly any tree, not even a single tree. Water level was almost 1800 feet below the ground. We used to request our satsangis to come here with bottle of water or a gallon of water or a bucket full of water whenever they came from their homes and adopt a tree, water that tree. And in less than 7-8 years, the magic has happened, and all that is because of my dear sisters and brothers. You see. With such a force, such a strength of willing hearts, anything can be achieved in our country. Few willing hearts. Swami Vivekananda was craving to have 100 people. Heartfulness has thousands and thousands perhaps. And it's such a joy to see such willing participants, not just for spirituality, but all trying to create a new future of India and of the globe. If the world has to shine forth as a planet, one Mother Earth, one family, India becomes the center of this world. The center of the world will not be just because of the material welfare, Of course it is required. Hungry stomachs cannot meditate. You remember those words of Swami Vivekananda, in those days, my people, they do not need spirituality, they do not need God, they need bread. We have come to a stage where it's no more a necessity. We can go beyond all that. We have fulfilled our primary basic requirements. Now we are ready to launch ourselves into spiritual realms. India must become spiritual center of the world. If any country has to survive without this base of spirituality, it will remain unstable. It has to have a fundamental base of spirituality, not of religion. Moment you bring religions, there will be chaos. We need to bring unity, harmony, integration through spirituality. Some people think that spirituality and religion, they are synonymous, but they are not. Religion is dogmatic, full of beliefs. Hindus, they say something. Christians, they say something. Islam says something. And everyone thinks they are better than the others. So in such scenario, how can there be unity? Spirituality tells us, makes us experience what godliness is, what divinity is, what can disturb my inner peace, what can strengthen my inner harmony. And that becomes our North Pole. That becomes our navigation guide. That becomes the voice of our heart. That becomes our guru from within the heart. The promise of Sahaj Marg is not to make disciples, but to make masters. Where we do not have to depend on gurus to descend and guide us, but the heart becomes so sensitive and extraordinarily discriminative that we know what is right, what is wrong, and more than that, we develop the guts, the courage to follow what is right, what is dharma, at any cost, come what may. This courage is required to do what is just. And in order to do that, my heart must be sensitized so much that doing a wrong thing, even before you contemplate it, your heart must tremble and say, no, this is not for me. I often get questions, Taji, what is the purpose of life? And we have said this time and often. Only purpose is develop consciousness to such an extent that we become eligible with that purity of consciousness to merge. That was my understanding so far. And I kept scratching my head afterward that what is next after merger? And Babuji says, merger is just the beginning. Atman merging with Paramatman is only the beginning. That is not the destination. I have shared this in this message that hydrogen, which is an explosive element, and oxygen that can fuel that explosive capabilities of the hydrogen, But when these two come together, it becomes water, precious water, without which you cannot exist. Differences amongst us should make us come together and create a new compound. Compound of individual unity. And later on, as we learn how to interact harmoniously with each other, that helps us increasingly graduate from one level to another. And finally, we become eligible to interact with the ultimate. Running away from families, running away from this world is not the solution. You must mingle with the world so that through this exercise we become able to love God. If you cannot love another human being, you cannot love God. Period. End of the story. Becoming a sannyasi, to me, I would declare that it's a sin to be a sannyasi. They cannot learn how to love. It's unnatural life. Even great Swami Vivekananda, when he was asked a question when he was 36 years of age, some of his Western disciples used to make fun of him. But Swamiji used to say, I am too old now to marry. Had I been younger, I would have married. This was his wisdom towards the end of his life. He knew when he was going to pass on also. He must lead a natural life. Consciousness can develop, can be refined, can be purified only and only through dhyan, and only through our daily practice of cleaning. There is no other way. We should not miss a single element of our practice. Group satsangs in person are very, very crucial. What you as an individual can attract grace from God when many people come together and meditate, that egregore impact is of a different level. So please, those of you who are listening to me from all over the world, try not to miss in-person satsangs, but that creates a vibratory level in the atmosphere, and that impacts every part, every cell of our body. Because of this transmission, if transmission was not there, I would not insist that you must come together. The magic of Sahaj Marg is only because of this transmission. You remove the transmission and it becomes like any other system. We have been recognized, our two schools, one Omega in Chennai and our Heartfulness International School at Kanha, both are recognized as top 2 schools in India. See? Okay. Also, the results of our 10th grade in the state of Telangana from this Heartfulness International School, there are more than 50 students all across Telangana who had 1 to 10 rank, and 12 were our students. It says a lot. Yesterday only we got an approval, or day before yesterday, final approval to commence our university at Kanha. Also, day before yesterday, we got an approval for skill development. We'll be taking up skilling individuals who are interested in plumbing, electricity, coloring, plumbing, carpentry, things like that. Gardening, grafting. This will all help us improve the environment. Many centers across India can take up this as a venture, and you can individually also start your own business. Learn the techniques of how to transplant trees, for example. We have more than 95% of success rate in transplanting trees from the roadside. And I would like that many people can start this business. New things are popping up. I don't know how many of you are aware of grafting. The new technology, for example, of brinjal. I'm sorry I'm giving you this business example on such a spiritual occasion, but that's also a requirement of our day-to-day life. Unless I speak now, this is an opportunity to share what all can be learned and what all can be implemented, even if you are not a farmer. Two things we have experimented very successfully at Kanha. You know this turkey berry, wild brinjal. They make beautiful chutneys in Tamil Nadu, especially to have it with dahi sadam. But that plant had such a strong root system, much stronger than brinjal itself. But if you graft any hybrid brinjal on it, it changes the entire equation. For example, if brinjal is producing 10 to 20 tons per acre, having grafted variety can fetch you 60 to 80 tons per acre. Imagine farmer's income. Similarly, grafting tomatoes on regular brinjal, because of the stronger root system, it is able to pull more nutrients to its fruits, vegetables. And likewise, many things are being done here. You can visit nursery to learn more things. Even you can have 5 plants of brinjal and 5 plants of tomatoes. You will never have to buy these vegetables ever from outside. Another advantage of these grafted varieties are both. It's not a crop of 2 months or 3 months, but it will last you for at least a year. So, even if you're not a farmer, do visit nursery and learn new things. With university, we're going to start 3 courses right away. One will be on agriculture, horticulture, and education. So those who are interested, with their children's education in this field, and if you think this is a good idea to study at Kanha, they can enroll. Admissions are now open. With this, I'll end my speech, so-called, and thank you all for coming. Thank you.